Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Question, when is a 7 iron not a 7 iron? Well, when it's a 6 iron or a 5 iron. I get told, and you see a lot in the comments, and it's always the same when you get into stronger lofted clubs, it's not really a 7, it's a 6, or it's a 5, or it's a 6.5 iron, because of the extra strong loft on it. Now I've done a test where I put a 7 iron against a 7 iron, loft versus tech. And what that showed to me was loft gets the ball up in the air, it spins better, whereas tech gets the ball further but at a lower trajectory. In that video, people were commenting, yeah, but it's a 6 iron, it's not actually a 7 iron, it's actually a 6, so I'm going to test it. So I have got the epitome of chunk. I have got the Big Bertha 7 iron at 29 degrees. And I have got my clubs, the Apex Pro 6 iron at 29 degrees. So in theory, these should go the same distance because of the same loft, or will the technology in the Big Bertha make any difference? And my counter to this argument, and I'm going to put it to the test today and I could be completely wrong, is that the shaft on the 6 iron is longer by about an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Does that make any difference? Does that then stop this becoming a 6 iron because of the shaft length? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to test it. So I'm going to start with the chunky monkey, the Big Bertha 7 iron. I'm going to go at my normal speed. I'm not going to try and manipulate this or anything like that for slower swing speeds. I'm going to hit these as hard as I can, what would be my normal swing, and see if I get better ball speed, better distance, etc, etc, etc when it comes to the Big Bertha, or is this actually a 7 iron and my 6 iron is actually a 6 iron? Let's find out, shall we? This thing is massive. How far have we gone? 197. That went? 196, not 197. Okay. And that one has gone 186. So a 10-yard difference, a little bit lower in the face on that one, so not the great shot, but to be fair, kind of shows a bit of the forgiveness of this club. Ball speed is 128, club head speed is 96, so I'm not holding back on these at all. I hate the offset on these things, absolutely hate the offset on them. Anything like that I'm going to take out because it doesn't show the comparison, it just shows how crap my swing is when it comes to these. I hate offset, makes me feel like I'm going to overturn it all the time. So these are all carrying around the 195, 200 mark, which is actually where I'd expect my 6 iron to go. So that was a 199 carry. Right, a couple more. Do struggle with the offset a little bit on these, but again, we're looking at 200-yard carry. Right, last one with this, then we'll get the 6 iron out and see how far that goes. A decent one to finish, just drew round a little bit, which is what I'd expect from this club. Right, let's get the 6 iron out. That carried 198, so I think this is about a 197 average carry, but we'll look at the end. Let's see what 6 iron does. Right, so now moving on to my 6 iron. So I think that average was about 195 at a guess, 195, 196. What are we expecting from the 6 iron? Longer shaft, is that going to make a difference? Loving the draws at the moment. Carry 211. Carry on that one. 212. Right, so let's look at the numbers then. Now, this is my, again, I say it all the time, this is me testing and this is completely my test. Now, the clubs I've used are exactly the same loft. The shaft weights are exactly the same. They are slightly different shaft, but the weight's the same, so I tried to make it as even as I could. I couldn't match the shaft because the PXI shaft isn't available anymore. So, 7 iron is the Big Bertha, ball speed 130, 6 iron 136. So they're not the same club. That extra length of shaft is getting me more ball speed. Launch angle, we're talking 0.7 of a degree, so they're launching the same, more or more there or thereabouts, but it's the spin. There's a 500 difference in spin when it comes to the difference, and that, for me, is the technology in the 7 iron aiding spin. It's that tungsten weight, it's that energy core, it's that AI face, it's that microspheres, it's all that is helping the spin. So on this case, on my test, when we're talking 6 iron versus 7 iron with the same loft, the technology is aiding the spin. It's aiding that launch to get the ball up. And you can see here, it's very slightly, but it's a very slightly higher launch. And it's actually going to come in at a steeper descent angle than my 6 iron. So the spin's different, but look at the difference in yardage. There's a 13-yard difference between the 7 iron and the 6 iron. That's a club. So for me, that is a 7 iron. And that is a 6 iron. They are exactly what they would be doing in my bag. Now, to kind of prove this theory, I'm now going to hit some 7 irons with my club, my actual 7 iron, and see where it sits in this, and see if my 7 iron actually works as a 7 iron compared to the Big Bertha. Well, unfortunately, the heavens opened, so I couldn't video me hitting them shots, but it looked the same as the shots I took before, just with a different club. So this is my 7 iron, this yellow one. Now, this is interesting because it goes a little bit back to that loft versus tech talk I had recently. So, my 7 iron and that 7 iron. My 7 iron is launching better at 18 degrees and it's going higher and coming down at a much better descent angle. The ball speed is down by 1.5 miles an hour, but the standard deviations are so close, it's negligible. I'm getting more spin, 4.6 compared to 4.2 with the Big Bertha. So the Big Bertha is spinning less, but it has less loft. It's, you know, it's tech versus loft again, that discussion. Now, I know what people are going to say. Those spins are too low for 7 irons and 6 irons anyway, and I get that, and it's something that I need to work on when I sort my bag out this year. I've done so much work in decreasing loft with my swing that now the shafts that I've got in there aren't the right shafts. They were great for when I was producing too much loft to bring the spin down, but now I'm producing less loft. They are keeping the spin down, which is causing like just ridiculous distances. To be perfectly honest, they're not what I want, so it's something I'll work on this year. Nevertheless, carry distance 192, 7 iron with the Big Bertha 195. So that 7 iron for me at my speed is a 7 iron. Regardless of the loft on the club, the technology within the club and the loft working in tandem make that club for me a 7 iron. So it is exactly what it says on that club. It's a 7 iron for me. It's not a 6 iron, it's a 7 iron. And that is completely proven with me testing my 7 iron against that 7 iron. The only difference is peak height. So my 7 iron again wins. So loft again beats tech, in my opinion, on this one, because I would rather have that ball flight stopping on a green than that ball flight stopping on a green all day long. So loft again wins over tech. But the argument is a 29-degree 7 iron actually a 6 iron for this test. For me, at my full swing speed, no, it's a 7 iron. It isn't a 6 iron because it is 13 yards behind my 6 iron. Right, and, I hope you've got something from that. Now, like I said, this is completely my test at my swing speed. Someone with a slower swing speed may find they bunch up better, the 6 and the 7, and it works. And this goes down to, again, the fundamentals of being tested and testing these clubs and seeing which one works best for you. For some people, the Big Bertha might be perfect. For me, at my speed, the Apex Pro is the better. But on this test, and for the argument of is a cranked loft 7 iron actually a 6 iron, for me, no. My 6 iron outperforms it all day long, and it sits perfectly gapped as a 7 iron. I hope you've liked that video, and if you have liked that video, please do smash that like button down below. It would mean the world to me. It lets me know that you're enjoying the videos that I'm putting out. So please, just takes one click, give that video a like. It would be much appreciated. And if you are new to the channel and you are liking what you're seeing, please do consider hitting subscribe and ringing that bell so you're notified of more videos that I put out. But stay tuned, lots more to come from me here at Ashby. But for the time being, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you all soon.